Hi guys, in today class we are going to discuss about the very fresh topic in unit 4 that is electromyography. So first we should know what does it mean by electromyography, right? So as like EEG, ECG, the EMG also is something which is we are going to record the electrical activity of the skeletal muscles. So here we are going to assess the muscle function by means of measuring the electrical activity that which is all about EMG. So the electromyography is it's a technique which is being used to measure the or record the electrical activity which is being produced by the skeletal muscles, and electromyograph is an instrument which is being used to measure or record the EMG, and the result which you are getting from machine which is nothing but electromyograph. So we should know the difference between what is electromyography, what is electromyograph, and what is electromyogram. So these three things are different. When you see these three words seems to be similar, but the meaning of this, the content of these three words, it's different from each other. So electromyography is the technique which is being used to evaluate or record the electrical activity of the particular muscles. Electromyograph is an instrument which is used to measure or recording the electrical activity, and the electromyogram is the output which is what we are get from an instrument. Okay, so these are the main difference between these three words. Next we will see the basic concept what is there in EMG, how EMG signals are being generated. Okay, so let us see where if you see resting muscles. Okay, when the muscle is on resting state, we can't see any action potential which is being generated over there. The reason is that the muscle is resting action, resting place, so there is no stimulus to react, so that we don't have any potential generation over there. But when the muscle is in action, when the muscle is in under action, based on that the respective action potential will be generated in response to the stimulus, whether we are giving from the outside or the instruction which is given by the brain. Okay, so that is the point here. So as long as we are giving a we are giving the instruction to contract the muscles, in response to that we have the equivalent potential production, that is equivalent potential generation. So the tapping that particular potential generation which is nothing but EMG. Okay, so EMG is direct electric potential generated by the muscle cells when the particular muscles are electrically or neurologically activated, right? So next we will see in equipment aspects. So now we discussed what is mean by EMG, how the signals are being generated. So once the signal is generated, that is now we have EMG signals, which is nothing but biological signals. How we tap that signal? How we are going to acquire the signals? What are the things are needed to tap and to do the further process? How can we display? So these are the things we can get answered in this slide. Okay, so first we will need what in the sense electrodes, right? So electrodes is the one we need to capture the particular signals what we need to measure. So here we have biological signals, which is the EMG. So we have two options: either we can use surface electrodes or needle electrodes. So if you are using the surface electrode means we will place electrodes over the surface of the skin or the muscles. Just we will tap for the action potential which is being produced over that particular area. The needle electrodes is the same application we can use here. The thing is the needle electrodes is mainly used when we need action potential of any single muscle fiber, that is a single muscle cell, whereas surface electrodes just we are placing over the surface of the skin, we can only tap the average action potential which is produced over the surface of the targeted area, whereas the needle electrodes we can use when we need any specific action potential of specific muscles. So again I am discussing this in detail. So see here we are using the needle electrode. So here and what we are doing, we are inserting to inside the muscle so that the needle will make a direct contact with any particular or specific single fiber of the muscle. So by doing this way, we can able to tap the any the specific muscle fiber action potential. Whereas see here a surface electrode, we are placing just over the surface of the body. So what can we measure here in the sense, we can measure only the average of the action potential which is generated over this surface of this particular targeted area. Okay, so this is the main difference between needle electrode and surface electrode. Once again I'm repeating, the electrode is the thing which is used to measure or tap the potential which is being generated over there. The based on the application or the need or the demand, we have two option of using surface needle electrodes. One is needle, another one is surface. When we want to measure just over the average potential, then we can go for surface electrode. Or if you want to know even more detailed information of any specific single fiber of muscle cells, then we need what is called needle electrode. Okay, so this is all about electrodes. Okay, next, once the electrodes part is over, now we have somehow we acquired the electrical signal, that is the EMG signal. What is the next step in the sense, we have to design the amplifier, because all EMG signals is more or less it is in a range of very low in amplitude, that is in microvolt or in millivolt. So it is not possible for any other circuits to do further processes. So anyhow we have to strengthen the cells even more in better way to do further processes to have detailed analysis. Okay, so for that only here we need what in the sense a high gain amplifier. Okay, so this is the main part. This is the second part which is needed in equipment side. One is electrode to get the signal. After getting the signal, we need to strengthen the signal by means of amplifier. Next we have to display the signal. Okay, now we have acquired the signal, then we have amplified the signal. What is the next stage in the sense, we have to display the signal or we have to record the signal, so that only we can do further inference by seeing that signal. Okay, so for the displaying it, we have the option of using oscilloscope, or even we can use PC computer or any other displays. Okay, in other case, if you want to record also, we can store in some type of magnetic tape recorder or any kind of things. Okay, so these are the things which are mainly needed when we are designing the EMG machines. Okay, one is appropriate electrodes, and electrode making everything we should concern when we are using when we are measuring EMG. So in electrodes we have different types, surface and needle, and once the electrode part is over, then we have to go for next step, that is the amplification process, to even more strengthen the signal, as well as if you want to remove any noise or artifacts, we can do we can add on some additional circuits like rectifiers, filters like that. Okay, so at last we have the display, that is the oscilloscope, or even we can also record. So the whole setup we have to usually it is better to do in constructor's shield room in order to prevent any interference. Okay, this is all about the equipment aspects point of view. Next, what are the main three parameters we can be monitored or we can be used especially in electromyography, in the sense, these are the three things. One is timing, second one is force, and third one is fatigue. Okay, so as far as timing concern, what type of inference we will get in the sense, at what time the muscle is activated. Okay, so by having this type of parameters, we can easily identify whether the muscle is giving immediate response, or if there is any delay response, then what is the root cause of the delay. Everything we can analyze. Okay, that is the main parameter of having this timing. Next one is force. So by measuring the force, we can even assess the what is the strength of the muscle. Okay, how strongly the muscle is contract. Okay, how forcefully the muscle is contract. That type of inference we can get by using this parameter force. And third one, we have the fatigue. So fatigue, as you all know, the fatigue is nothing but is the weakness, that is the tiredness of the muscle. How muscle is like what is the full power of your muscle, how what is the strength of the muscle, like what is capability of the muscle to have a full strength. So these are the third one, like fatigue we can analyze. So these are three the main parameters. One is timing, force, and fatigue. Okay, next we will see the pattern of EMG. Okay, so as of now we have discussed what is EMG, and next we have discussed the equipment's aspect, and now we are in pattern of EMG. So what are the different pattern we can notified when we are measuring EMG, right? So these are four main activity or the pattern we can see in EMG. One is the resting activity. Okay, so resting activity in the sense the muscle is on the rest and we have not applied any needle electrodes over there. So in that case, what type of findings we can able to get in the sense no activity, right? So resting activity, there won't be any action potential generation, even we don't have any insertion of needle in the sense, obviously at the finding time and the findings we don't have any activity, right? So that is the first one. Second one, we will have the insertion activity. Here we don't have any impulse we are given to the muscles to contract or something, but what we have done here means we have inserted the needle to the various parts inside the muscle. Okay, so during the insertion, what will happen in the sense, the needle will make some contact with the respective targeted area. So by doing so, what will happen, the muscles by making contact with that muscle cell, the muscle will get activated. So as a result, there will be a brief action potential generation. Okay, that is the second findings we can get when we are inserting the needles. The third one is the main action potential that we generated, which is nothing but EMG. That is, here the needle is now stable. Once the needle is fixed in that particular area, now the stimulus has been given to the muscle in order to make some slight contraction. Okay, so as a result of slight contraction, we have a generation of action potential, that is the motor unit action potential. So that may be any biphasic or triphasic for particular short duration. So this is what motor unit action potential. It is nothing but our EMG. So this potential is generated in response to our stimulus. As a result, it end up with slight contraction, so which in turn will produce the some motor action potential. And last one is recruitment. Okay, so recruitment is the parameter or pattern of EMG. We can assess the strength of the muscle contraction. So when the subject makes progressive strong muscle contraction, so at that case we will have the high amplitude action potential generation. Okay, so that type of finding is nothing but recruitment. So these are the four main things, that is resting EMG, insertion activity, motor unit potential, and this recruitment phenomenon. These are the respective waveform we can able to get in different EMG pattern. Okay, thank you guys. In next class we will have the continuation of this topic. Thank you.